Everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to do a quick review. I just purchased the new Festool angle guide for their track. That is the adjustable one, and kind of walk you through my thoughts on that and whether it's worth the money or not. So let's get into it. All right, so let's take a look at this thing real quick. It's got your snap over if you want to put your track on there. We'll slide that on in a minute. You've got a stop in here. You've got detents at 60, 45, 30, 22 and a half, and 15 and 0 in both directions. So that works out nice. And then one of the things that I was like, oh, what if this thing gets out of square? You can take these two screws, I believe they're a 5mm hex, and you can actually adjust this a little bit. So if it's bumped out of square or whatever, you can re-square this and get it back into order. So one of the features it comes with that I kind of like is it's got these two little pieces, and if you line these up, they stay in place with these tabs, but you got to turn it just a little bit to get them out, so it keeps them from falling out and keeps them on there. And then what those will do is you can use those for alignment on your wood stock. So if you got your traction coming on this side, these slide up underneath. And that allows you, so you've got this small alignment thing, but if you got something taller, it allows you to butt up against that. And maybe if you want to do, like, sometimes we'll cut a couple sheets at a time, so we maybe want to line up a few sheets. So that'll give you alignment on there. Or if you've got a radius on this your top or something, just a nice little kind of something I wouldn't have originally thought of. But those just snap into place. They're nice because they stay on board and they don't get lost. So I do like that feature. So one of the things when you've got your snap over that holds your track in place, and then this is the other part of the track. So when it comes in, so we can see this. So that comes into the T-track on the bottom side. Let's start this way. It's harder to do this upside down when I'm not looking at it. So you can kind of see how that slides in there. Bring your track into where you want. That snaps over and then allows you to pivot your part, your angle in here. So what that does, this here, it allows you to keep kind of a pivot point in there, and it goes back and forth. The other thing it does, and I don't necessarily use it, you can use these for clamping down if you've got the Festool clamps. That'll hold if you want to hold your workpiece in place. I generally am not going to do that. One of the reasons I end up, I've had this one for a long time. There's a bunch of different ones out there. They're kind of, to me, all about the same. They're great for 90-degree angles, but I've got some stuff coming up where I need to do panel stock, and I need to have a repeatable cut. So I can come in here, set my angle, and know, like if you're doing a gable wall, or if you're, gable wall, or if you've got some panels that need to be cut at an angle, that's where this thing, to me, really shines. This would work if you're doing 90. I tend to use a lot of track saw on my job sites. For me, it's more efficient, it's faster, it's more accurate. You can disagree with me on that, and that's fine. But for me, it works really well, and I'm just happy with how quickly that goes, at least on the stuff that I do. So, so yeah, so this works out, comes back and forth really nicely. And then one of the things is in pricing, there's two different ways to get this, and I don't think that they're really hard to get a hold of currently today as the time I'm doing this filming. I was able to find one of my local stores that had just the guide available. They do make a kit that comes with the sustainer. It's got the new style guide rail connectors, a cord piece, and a sustainer, and I think there might be a couple other things. Those are about $300, which to me was too much money. These run about $175. Originally, it was like, oh, that seems like a lot. And then I started looking back into it and stuff. Is like, what's available? The only other adjustable one that isn't some type of a clone coming from overseas someplace, coming out of Asia, is woodpeckers. And I found a clone for the wood. Somebody cloned the woodpecker one. Those run $300, I think, just for the unit. And I think I could be wrong, but I think they're for something by the time you get the stainer and everything. These go on the job site. I mean, they'll stay in my shop too, but a lot of times they're on the job site. In comparison, this style here runs about $150. There is some clones out there. There's some cheaper ones out there. But if you get like this one here, I don't know if I looked at this exact one, but I was looking in the $150 range, and that does a 90, which is great. This is only $25 more at $175 if I get it without the sustainer. And to me, to have that extra $25, for that extra $25 in order to be able to do panel goods at a repeatable angle, and that's really like if I'm doing stuff, that repeatability of not having to try to line up my track and just being able to set it on there and cut it. And like if you're doing a gable wall with some type of sheathing or siding, you can measure point to point, and you just need the one, set your angle what it is, cut it, go to town. So to me, this is, when you look at this being priced at $150 or a similar one like this, and this is $175, it's one of the few times that I'm going to say that Festool is a bargain in that regard. It's not something I would normally, put in my in that this is a bargain at that price. So it's still, it's $175, but when you look at the comparison, I think it's a good deal. So I'm real happy with this. Starting to put it on the job site here shortly, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I'm hoping I'm going to have time next week to bring out a video. I know I've talked about it a couple times, but let's see if I can flip this around so you can see it. So here's one of the things I've been waiting for, and I was actually expecting this about a month ago. I hope next week to have this as my video that's coming out. This is a Yeti Smart Bench. It does 4x8 sheets, and it is a portable CNC. So I'm hoping next week's video is going to be a review on this, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Thanks for watching. If you agree, disagree with me, leave me a comment. Always read them, and yeah, if you like this stuff, keep coming back. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Bye.